All right. Good evening once again. Welcome back. Um, I know we had just a class, and in that class we are trying to recap some of the things we have learned before, and I'm very sure that if I may ask, I notice where Chris is, there's too much background noise. If not, I will have asked him to tell us where we stop. Um, okay, so this is a cyber security session. Aguero Prosper, an IT consultant, an expert at Digital Hub, and also the CEO at Digitex Hub. Okay, so for the benefit of Hamisu Ali, that is just joining us for the first time, I have to make that introduction. So remember, we have started looking at Windows security. I told us that cybersecurity is actually divided into two broad parts. We have the Windows security, and then we also have the ethical hacking. And the way the training is structured, you are expected to understand how to use or to set up the Windows security features for the safetiness of the Microsoft Windows and the applications that runs on it before you advance to ethical hacking. So the first part of this training is actually going to be focusing on understanding the security tools that are built within the Microsoft Windows. So it is our responsibility as cybersecurity specialists or professionals to know how to use these tools, how to set them up to protect the system. So, and that is the reason why we are taking it this way. So once we are done with the Windows security aspects, then we can now move into the ethical hacking. So we are expected to spend like a month exploring these Windows security features. So we started with the general introduction to cyber security, where we define cyber security as a collective or the use of collective methods, processes to protect the system. Are you with me? Let me get a response from you. I think Mr. Chris is out. I believe it should be network. Okay, so like I was saying, we can define cybersecurity as the practice of protecting computers, networks, software, and data from unauthorized access or attacks or damage or even theft. So why I'm doing this, because we need to understand the field we are in. We need to know why do we exist as cybersecurity professionals. We exist because we help companies or individuals to protect their systems, their network, their data from attackers or hackers. So at the end of this training, you will end up being or becoming a defensive cyber security expert, not an offensive. All right, so we must get our priority rights. We are not learning this to go and start, penetrating into system that we do not have authorization, right? So once you engage in that, you have already switched away from the essence of establishing this program. So that is just for us to understand what cybersecurity is all about. So like I said, just to recap before we move to the next aspect, is the practice of protecting computers, network, softwares, and data from unauthorized access, attacks, damages, or thefts, right? So in today's digital world, we need to understand that cybersecurity is very essential. Some of the reasons why cybersecurity is essential is because individuals, businesses, and governments rely heavily on technology and the internet. And that is why cybersecurity as a program is become very, very important, because individuals, companies heavily rely on what? Technology and the entire internet. So you can actually see it for yourself. And that is why this program has been ranked as one of the top test skill that individual should have, because even in the next 100 years, I can categorically assure you that this program will still be very lucrative, because in as much the internet exists as one of the major network for communication through technology, the security of this internet will still be prioritized, which means you will still be relevant. So let's quickly look at some of the reasons why cybersecurity is very important to us. So I'm doing all this because of Bashir, and it has been a while. We had this lecture. So one of the reasons or the importance of cybersecurity is to protect sensitive information such as personal, financial, business data. Another reason is to prevent cyber attack and data breaches. That is one of the core reasons why a company will actually subscribe to your services as a cybersecurity professional, because they will like you, or probably they are hiring you to prevent cyber attack. You don't want to be attacked because they have reputation, right? So you need to know your job description as a cyber security professional. So another reason why cybersecurity is very important in our today's world is to maintain privacy and confidentiality, right? That is you being able to secure information from others. That is the privacy we are talking about. And when that happens, you have, or organization have, more confidence on those information you are protecting, in as much they are not available to the hackers or the attackers. Another major reason why cybersecurity is very, very, very essential is that it ensures businesses continuity. All right, so businesses are consistent on the internet because they are not attacked, because an attack can cause business to have a huge setback. All right, so we need to understand that. Another major reason why cybersecurity is important is because it protects national security, critical infrastructure. Protects national security and critical infrastructure. So we can go on and on talking about the importance of cybersecurity. So all these that I've read out should form the foundation or the reason why we should know the security of the internet. The internet is a very porous space, and as a matter of fact, is the largest network in the entire world. So why will you say such a space? What makes it to be ranked the largest? Because of the participation of people, because of people what involvement. So which means that a lot of vulnerability. There are people who do not even know their left from the right that are also transacting on the internet. So training like this will create that awareness, and the more individuals that are trained, the more awareness is spread out there, and the more the security of the internet can be more secure or reliable. So let's quickly look at some of the key objectives of cybersecurity. What actually is the intention of introducing this program? What is the objective? What are we trying to, or what exactly this program is trying to address? Number one, confidentiality. Number one, confidentiality. So this forms the pillars. We usually refer to them as the three pillars of what? Security, whether it is cyberspace you are securing or any form of security. So in any aspect of security, these three elements are very, very key. Number one is the confidentiality. So what does confidentiality mean? It means ensuring information is accessible only to the authorized users. Basil, I hope you are following. I said what? Ensuring information is accessible only to the what? Authorized users. So it's very important. It's very important. So we need to ensure, it is our responsibility to ensure that whatever system that are within our supervision, whatever data we are asked to protect, we have to make sure that only the authorized individual have access to them. So that is going to be your core responsibility as a security expert. So that is one of the key objectives of cyber security. So the next one is going to be integrity. That is another vital key objective of cyber security. Integrity, which means maintaining the accuracy and the trustworthiness, maintaining the accuracy and the trustworthiness, all right, of data. Data can be corrupted. The moment a data is corrupt, that data have ceased from having any form of integrity. Why? Because people can no longer depend on it. Basil, I hope you can hear me. So the third cyber security element or key objective is the availability. So availability means ensuring systems and data are available when needed. So these three aspects, the confidentiality, the integrity, the availability, these are what form the key objective why this program. So the reason why a company will seek your service as a security specialist or expert, it is because of these three things. One is for confidentiality, which means to ensure information is accessible only to authorized. So that is actually what they want you to ensure. And then integrity, and of course the availability. So let's quickly look at some of the common cyber security threats. Let's quickly look at some of the cyber security threats. All right, so we need to be aware, because I always tell students that the greatest aspect of this program is awareness. So when you are not aware of the vulnerabilities within the system you are protecting, then the intruders or the attackers takes advantage of your not being aware. So one of your responsibility as a cyber security expert is that you are going to constantly give a kind of security awareness training to the organization you are securing their system. So your work is to continue to listen to the society, to follow the trend, to continue to make research, to know the new strategies of the attackers so that you can inform the people involved for them not to fall victim. All right, so for that, we want to look at some of the common cyber security threats. So we need to be aware of this. What are some of the cyber security threats? Number one, the major threat is called malware. The major threat is called malware. All right. So because this aspect of our training focuses on the safetyness, how you can make the system safe, while the ethical hacking focuses on how you can perform, how you can assess the security strength of system. That is why it is also called the penetration testing. All right, so there are two different things entirely. There are two different things. It's just that all of them are under the umbrella of what? Security. That is the cyberspace security. But basically, when you hear Windows security or Computer A+, which is the aspect we are currently dealing with, we are talking about ensuring the security of the operating system. Because within the operating system, that is where you have the company applications that are running. And once an attacker can attack an application or a sensitive application or to get away with the data of the company, then it's going to be a serious disaster. So part of the technical skills that you need to have is for you to understand, to master the usage of the Microsoft window. But our focus is not the general purpose. Our focus is those security built-in functions or features within the window. How do we set them up? How do we use them to protect the system from contacting virus and from allowing the intruders from gaining access without authorization, which falls under the confidentiality that I have explained. So number one security threats or cyber threats. So we need to know this so that you know what you have to fight against. It's very important you understand it so that you know what you are going to fight against. All right, so like I said, we are looking at common cyber threats. Common cyber threats. So under this, we have the first one, which is the malware. So I'm going to talk about the malware for some few seconds or few minutes. So the first one is the malware. So every cybersecurity expert should know all this. As major threats. So you make sure that you set up your intruder detection system that can arrest them when they try to gain access, because these are the medium the hackers uses to send some suspicious script into the system that could be feeding them some important information for stealing your file or for breaking into the system. So we must protect the system against malware. So how do we define malware? So malware can be defined as malicious software designed to harm system. All right, you know, under malware, that is where we have virus. So professionally, sometimes we don't just go straight and say virus. For us as professional, we should know that instead of us calling them one after the other, you saying Trojan, you say spyware, you saying ransomware, all these are under what? They are under malware. They are set of attacks that every cybersecurity professional must ensure that they do not gain access to his or her system. All right. So these are software. So some individual take their time to develop all this software just to harm people's system, and that is why a company hires you so that you can create a defensive system. That's why I told us that what we are training here is defensive security. Nobody's going to train you offensive. So all the skills you are going to acquire from this platform, they are just for what? For good, for educational purpose. So we need to know that we have to defend the system. So you have to set up system that can prevent the entrance of all this malware. So like I was saying, under the malware, that is where we have the virus. We have the virus, which is a very dangerous software that should not gain access to your system. So I wouldn't tell you much about it because you already know. Almost everybody know what is called virus. Because virus can make system to malfunction, where a system is expected to give you certain function, then to end up giving you another function, or even denying you from accessing your file. So virus can actually turn your system upside down. So it must be prevented. All right, it must be prevented. So another malware is worm. So we need to know all this worm. So all these fall under what? Malware. So what is worm? Worm itself is another type of what? Disease that when it enters into your system, it causes a lot of challenges. It causes a lot of problem, rather. It causes a lot of problem. So let me hear from Mr. Chris. I hope you are following.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I noticed you were out for some time. Was it network?
Yeah, my network was a bit bad.
Okay.
Yeah, my network was bad.
Okay. So, so like I was saying, virus is a malicious program that attaches itself to a legitimate file or application and spread when the affected file is executed. So we need to know all this. We need to know how all these things are engineered within the system so that you can guide your clients. Please avoid downloading content from unverified websites because those websites must have loaded together with that app that is legitimate, that you feel that you are downloading, because it's not a verified source. Those guys must have fused in the any of these malware. It could be virus, it could be worm, such that as soon as you download it and you open the file, let's say you try to install it, then the virus will spread. That is how it spread.
Sir, can I ask you something?
Sorry?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Under this malware, virus and worm, they are similar?
Whether virus or worm, whether they are similar.
Yeah.
Is that what you are saying? No, I'm just yes. They are both threats. They are both threats. They are both threats. But I'm still coming to explain worm. I just want to finish with virus. They are both threats. Anything I'm listing under malware should be avoided. These are the things that compromise your system. So when you try to avoid them,
Okay.
then you are protecting that system. So just follow me. I just want to finish everything about virus because it's a serious topic. All right. So now we understand
Okay.
how virus spread. That is, they will attach themselves to a legitimate application or file. So the moment that file is open, that is why if you use flash drive to collect an infected file, right? So the moment that flash drive is connected to the system, the virus will not spread. The moment that file in that flash drive is open, that is when the virus will spread. So let's look at some of the characteristics of virus. So later you can sit down with the video and make your notes because this is more or less of, starting afresh. So I just want to make sure that we are on the same. And please, this class will not be paused again. Please, let's make our time to see how we can conclude this training. You can see that I have scheduled it for 2 times in a week now, Mondays and Wednesday, as requested by Mr. Chris and others. So require one of the characteristics of virus, because you need to know their behavior so that when you see a symptom, when you see your system behaving in a certain way, you should be able to know, oh, this is virus. So require human action to spread. Can you see it now? So it doesn't spread on its own. How does it require human effort or action to spread? By opening an infected file. Can corrupt, modify, or delete data. Virus can corrupt and modify and delete. So we should know this. You must have had cases where somebody will tell you that the file I have on my system, I can no longer find it. I don't know if any one of you have had something like that. I can no longer find my file. So it will have happened that virus must have what? So virus have the capacity to modify and to delete. When I say modify, it can change the name you use in saving file. I can save a file with Prosper, and then the next day, if it's affected, I will be looking for Prosper. Meanwhile, it has what? Created a shortcut, probably with another name. So virus can cause a lot of problem. Then often spread through email attachment. When they send you email attachment, be careful. These are some of that is why most email, if you check, I believe you must have observed it. If you are trying to download an attached file from Yahoo Mail, Gmail, I think Yahoo Mail, I don't know whether, I think both of them should have it. You will see that they have now incorporated an antivirus that will scan it first before it allows you to open it. How many of us have observed that? So it will not just download to your system. Good. It will not just download to your system. The moment you click on that attached file you want to download it, it will scan it and tell you that if it sees virus, it will block it. So that is how those platforms, those FTP, that's File Transfer Protocol applications, are trying to ensure the security of their users. USB drives, connecting flash drives. So the company you are working with, you need to ensure, you need to advise them, educate them that they should not accept, USB flash drive that probably will have been, affected somewhere, or downloading files. So these are some of the characteristics. All right. So one of the real life example of this, imagine a person with what? Contagious disease, who only spread it when interacting with others. So that is how, so let's look at some of the signs of virus. We are still under virus. Some of the signs. How do I know as a professional when I'm given a system? How do I know that whether the system has virus? Number one, slow computer performance. When all of a sudden the computer that used to be fast, without you loading it with more information, now become very slow, then is a sign that what is a virus. That is why when people consult you, you ask some few questions to know whether the slowness is caused by virus, because there are other configuration in the system that can lead to that. It's not always virus. So once you ask some questions and those questions appear to be probably positive, then you know that is what the virus. For example, somebody it's telling you that the system is suspecting virus, and you ask him or her, how do you say the system is becoming very slow? Then you ask, did you just install application, or is it when you are using a particular app that you experience it? All these are ways of you knowing whether it is virus. Or you ask that, okay, when did it started exhibiting this art character or this behavior? Then if the person says that it just started yesterday, the system has been very fast all this while, then that is an evidence of virus. So another one is missing file. When all of a sudden file are missing on your system, you should know that there is presence of what? Virus. Frequent crashes, where your system crashes all the time. You know, you see some persons every now and then taking their system to technicians to reformat, to format, all those things. Sometimes it's virus that causes it. When system, they fix it today, tomorrow, another problem. These are caused by what? Virus. Then unusual error messages. All these are signs of virus. Now let's look at worm. Let's look at worm. So how do we define worm? A worm is a standalone malware that can replicate itself and spread automatically across network without user interaction. So can somebody unmute and tell me the difference between worm and virus from what I've explained so far? Let me define that worm so that you relate it with the one I gave you on virus, and then you tell me the differences. A worm is a standalone malware that can replicate itself and spread automatically across network without user interaction. So what's the difference between malware and virus? Let's do that very fast if you can hear me.
Okay, sir. One of the basic difference between malware and virus is that one virus is that virus needs a human function, needs human for it to be able to, like a user, for it to be able to function or spread. But that of worm don't need any of such. It has a capacity to do that by itself.
Good. That is one. There's a key difference that I'm looking for. If you can say, Basil, can you tell us the difference between? Can you try if there's no too much noise background where you are? Okay. What do you? Okay.
Virus is an always can detecting there is something like, or I say something is wrong to your system or to your device. And then worm cannot detect
Okay. But see, you miss it. Now, this is the key difference. This is the key difference between virus.
Okay.
You can mute now. You can mute.
What?
Now, look at it. Let me just explain it so that we move forward. Now, virus attaches itself to a file before it can cause problem. Why this one is a standalone that can replicate itself. You see it now? Virus, before it cause problem, it must patch with something else. While this one is a standalone. So once you get to your system, it's not looking for your file to attach to. All right, so let me continue with that definition. So I said what? A worm is a standalone malware that can replicate itself and spread automatically across network without user interaction. So let's just quickly go over some of the characteristics of worm, and this will enable us to differentiate it better with the virus. So number one characteristics of worm is that it does not need a host file. It doesn't need a host file. That's why I said it doesn't need to attach rather. It does. When you say host, it does not need any file to carry it. That's why we said it's a standalone. The number two characteristics of worm is that it spread rapidly. through network vulnerabilities. Once you see loophole, it spread rapidly, very fast. Then consume system and network resources. So a real life example that we can use to back this up is that think a rumor spreading quickly through a community without anyone intentionally helping it. Have you not discovered, Mr. Chris, you were out, so let me just quickly recap. So we are talking about the characteristics of—
Thank you, sir.
We are talking about the characteristics of worm, and that will enable us to be able to differentiate them. The first one I said worm does not need a host file. In other words, does not need any file to carry it. So it's on its own and is to be causing more problem. Number two is that it spread rapidly through network vulnerability. So you can see the reason why you must ensure. When we say vulnerability, is a cybersecurity term, which means what? Loopholes. All right. So which means channels that the thieves can take advantage. If you are to bring it, so just like you leave your door open, maybe your fence, one side has fallen. Somebody can follow there and enter. That is what there is vulnerability there. So what we are saying is that it spread rapidly, very fast. And then number three characteristics of worm is that it consumes system and network resources. It consumes system and network resources. What do we mean by system resources? Can anybody try? I believe we must have all graduated from computer primary school and secondary school, because this was just like we are in university. What do we mean by computer resources? Can we try, Mr. Chris? You know what is called computer resources? Okay, so let me just say what we mean by— okay, you want to try, Chris? Want to try? You wanted to try? Okay, let me proceed. Now, computer resources means your application, they are the resources, in as much they are within the computer management. Your data, all these falls under computer resources. Even the devices that are connected, like mouse, all of them, they form computer resources. So I was talking about how do we relate worm in a real life. I said, think of a rumor. You know how rumor usually spread. Now think of a rumor spreading quickly through a community without anyone intentionally helping it. That is how fast worm can spread. Once there's rumor in a community now, bam, within a second. Truth does not always spread fast compared to rumor. Once it's a lie, it will fly. So that is how dangerous worm is. So you see the reason why you need to ensure that all these things are protected against. So that will take us to the next one, which is Trojan. We are still under the malware, which happen to be the threats in our computer system. So the Trojan or the Trojan horse. A Trojan is a malware disguised as legitimate software to trick users into installing it. To trick users into installing it. So you can see there's a tricker. All right, a Trojan is a malware disguised as legitimate. Imagine a malware that is pretending as if, just like the way you have friends that will pretend that they are your friends. So this Trojan, that is why it's always very dangerous, because you might misquote it for the risk application, and as soon as you install it, the whole of your system is compromised. Let's look at some of the characteristics of this malware. Appear useful or harmless because it's pretending. Create a backdoor for attackers. So when you see so many people's system being attacked or hacked, somebody must have sent a malware while downloading a legitimate software from a website, must have contacted all this. And once you get there now, you'll be surprised that most of the details that can be used to compromise the security structure of that system will be sent to what? To the intruders. So why I'm taking them one after the other, so that you know what your job is as a cybersecurity professional. You have to ensure these are the things you are going to be fighting, not to allow any of them. That's why I'm taking time to explain this so you know how dangerous they are. So you must not keep your eyes closed watching all this entering your system freely. So we need to understand all of this. I hope we are following. Let me get a response before I proceed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's quickly look at some of the characteristics. Let us quickly look at some of the characteristics of the Trojan. Number one, like I said, appear useful or harmless. Number two, create backdoor for attackers. Does not self-replicate like virus or worm. It does not. It's just there to allow the entrance of the bad guys, the attackers. So you must avoid it. So let's look at a real life situation that can be equated to this, just like the famous Trojan horse story. Attacker hide malicious code inside seemingly legitimate software. That's what I was telling you. Legitimate software, they will hide this inside. As you are downloading it, you are taking it together. All right. So example, fake antivirus software. Example of Trojan. Fake antivirus. There are so many fake antivirus software. Crack software download. Most of these crack, a lot of us, we crack window, everything we crack. Nothing that is of license that we are running. In all this one, you can easily fall victim of all these fake mobile applications. There are a lot of fake. All right. So let's look at the fourth one. The fourth one, I want to see how, since this is a foundational class, I just want to make sure that we understand all these fundamentals. So the next one is ransomware. Ransomware. This is also a popular term you have been hearing. So what is ransomware? So ransomware is a malware that encrypts a victim file and demand payment ransom. That's why it's called ransomware. When we say encrypt, they lock it. They carry your file and lock it. That when you want to open it, you cannot. It's asking you to use a file format or an application that can decrypt it. And the moment you go to the internet to search for the solution, is their number you will see there. When you contact them, they will tell you, yeah, they have the solution. But they, encrypted it themselves. So to restore access, so you have to make sure that you prevent them access. If not, this is just like kidnapping somebody's file and asking you to pay money before they release the file. So that is equivalent to what we are calling ransomware. What is it? Let's look at some of the characteristics of this lock and encrypt file. The lock and encrypt file. Display a ransom note, often spread through phishing, email, and malicious download. We are going to know what is phishing very soon. So in real life example we can use, imagine a thief locking your house and demanding money before giving you the key. That is a perfect example to explain ransomware. I hope we got that. Somebody locking your house and asking you to pay money before he gives you the key. Now let me ask this question: how do you think you will have permitted? How do you think you will have made yourself vulnerable to that thief to lock the door against you? Can somebody tell me? Because something must have led to the thief locking the door. Because probably he found the door open, right? He found the door open, so that's why he could put his own padlock and act as the owner. So these are the things when you are given a system, you make sure that they are not open. That's what I'm talking about: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. You must determine who accesses what. So everything should not be available for everybody. All right. So how do we prevent this? Because this is very important. Regular backups. You need to be backing up your file. Software updates. You need to be updating your software. So these are the things we are going to learn practically. You should know how to update your software, because when software are outdated, they lose their what function. And when they lose their function, some of these malware take advantage of outdated software. We don't know, some of us don't know the risks of running outdated software. Every now and then you see Windows notifying you, sending a message that update available. Some of us, we ignore them. How many of us have done that? How many of us see, most time you see Windows telling you there is an update to, and then some of us will just cancel it. We don't even do anything about it. But now you will know that these are very important. These are very important. So let's talk about another threat. So this is number 2. So these are the ones we have under malware. The next one is spyware. Spyware. So what is spyware? So spyware is a malware. It's a malware designed to secretly monitor users' activity and collect sensitive information. Can you imagine? The software, the malware that is designed to secretly monitor users' activities and collect sensitive data. You see, sometimes by the time you finish this training, even you yourself, you will be more careful the way you parabolate within the internet. Some persons are just too loose. They are just too loose. They go to internet, they upload things anyhow. They comment anyhow. All these things could be there spying. And then when somebody will use it to attack you, you will just be surprised. So characteristics of this, we have operate without the user knowledge. They operate without the user's knowledge. Record browsing habits, password and words, personal information. Send collected data to attackers. Can you see it? They send collected data to what? To attacker. So let's look at a real life example so that it can inculcate. Imagine someone secretly watching you or watching everything you do and writing it down. Can you see it? Imagine somebody secretly watching you, watching everything you do and writing it down. Why is the person doing that? Why is he writing it down? He wants to use it someday to attack you. So example of this is what we call keyloggers. Keylogger, record keystroke. Keylogger. As you are pressing your button, your keyboard, let's say you are entering a password, it listens to what? The button. It will collect A, B, C, D. Then it will carry everything. That could be your password though, and carry it and send it to what? To the intruders. And that is why you have to use all those special characters like @_ because it's find it difficult to code those ones. That's why bank will always tell you use special character, or when you are creating password, they will tell you use uppercase, use lowercase, because even if you listen to the sound A, that is what you hear A, but it does not interpret to be what capital letter A or lowercase what A. So it will still have issue of getting it right. So these are the reason why you see you being advised to ensure that you use lowercase, uppercase. You mix them up, numbers, and then underscore and all those things, special character. That is the reason why you are always given that advice, to deceive all this that exists, so I don't easily grab your information. I hope that is clear. Do you have any question?
Okay, follow the chat. You don't have enough chat. Plug your computer and chat. You don't have enough chat. Plug your computer and chat. You don't have enough chat.
Okay, enough light. Is that what you are saying? that I should plug my computer. Don't worry, I will close where the battery runs down. It's just an introduction, so I know I'm not going to exceed 1 hour for this class. So next class, I will use a system that lasts longer. Okay, so I know you are joining for the first time. If you were to be Chris, I think I would have continued from where I stopped. So I already know that because you are showing interest with the message I sent. So I know somebody joining for the very first time. That's why I'm taking all this again. All right, so now that we understand all this, now all this that I'm reading out is for us to do what? For us to be guided, for us to see a reason why we need to ensure that our systems are protected. So if you have someone around you or a company that do not have an expert, let's say they invite you and they ask you a question, why should we employ you? Why do you think we need your service as a cybersecurity expert? So you will let the person know, you need my service because I will help you to protect against worm, against malware. You can mention the one after the other. And even if you have knowledge of their individual definition or knowing what they can cause, you speak them out. So once the clients hear all this, they will not want to lose you, or they would like to engage your service. All right, so sorry, this particular one, this spyware is under, that's supposed to be under what? Malware. So we will now go to the number 2 properly. Sorry about that. So we have another threat. Remember that we're talking about what? Common cyber threats. I want to see how I can complete them before we close the class. So we have phishing. We have phishing. So I believe this is one of the terms you have also be hearing. So what is phishing? You see, every field has its own terminologies. When you are learning any tech skill, try as much as possible to understand those terms that are connected or associated with it. Because when you go for an interview, they will not expect you to be answering the question with basic terms. So where somebody will be saying, why I should protect my system, you not say virus, you say what? Malware. And then that is your professional term. But if the person does not understand, you're not saying, for example, virus, the person will not know that, oh, you are a professional. So what is phishing? In this field, whenever the word phishing is used, it means fraudulent emails or messages that trick users into revealing sensitive information, such as password or credit card details. This one happens a lot. It must have even happened to some of us. Somebody will call you and tell you that I'm from so bank and I'm your account officer. I've been assigned to update your account. I will send you a code now. You send it back to me. All these ones, they are phishing tricks, and these are very high intelligent human beings. These are not uneducated people. These are people with high IQ that their work is to study people in a society, what they are desperate to do, what they are desperate of, and they will use it to tempt them. You know, just like, for example, now, if you are a humanizer, everybody know you in the street that this person cannot do without carrying women. You know, somebody can easily set you up with a girl and then you fall. Am I correct? I want to know whether I'm correct. So somebody can set you up with that thing that you love most. So there are some individual that knows what people like or what people, the trend that people are following, and they will go and position, not for good. Some of them can just even come, just like this training, and they can just tell you that, oh, come and attend cybersecurity training free, and then they will send you a link. And because you are desperate, you don't want to pay money, you want to just learn. When you click and you did not even verify the source, you don't even know whether they exist. As soon as you click, some certain information from your end will have been sent to them. So all these, so many people that are using the internet, they are not aware of all these things. Ordinarily, before you click on any link, this is a problem. That is one of the threats we have. That's why sometimes, even when we advertise that, oh, we are offering free training at Digitezi Hub, people should come with drop link. People will not want to click on the link because people are afraid that hope. But people that knows that these people they exist, so the person will click confidently. And that's why you see most platforms, they will not drop the Zoom link, they will drop the Zoom ID. Because if it's Zoom ID, nobody can trick you to click on a link. So any source you do not understand, if it is Zoom, better ask for the ID. Don't ask for the link because you can easily fall victim of this. So fraudulent email or messages that trick users into revealing sensitive data. Even there are a person that will call you that which other trick again, that they were trying to send recharge card to someone, and they mistakenly pick your number that you should send it back to them. All this is our tricks. They are tricks that you need to know. All right. Then we have a password attack. These are threats. All of them, they are threats. Password. I hope we are learning something, please. Are we learning something? Password what?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah, good. Thank you. Password attack. So attempt to steal or crack password using techniques like brute force. Technique like brute force attack. When we get to ethical hacking, you will learn all this practically. We will look at how these guys does all this, because the law permits us to mimic their ways. The law permits us to know their secrets so that we can prevent them. That is what the law permits us. That you are supposed to know, okay, how did they normally do all this? Not that you should do it, but you should know the process so that when the company employ, because you are aware that they come this way, you can quickly outsmart them. You can quickly apprehend them, or you can be ahead of them. That is the purpose of that ethical. That's why if you learn cybersecurity, don't learn ethical hacking as if you don't learn it at all, because no company will want to employ you with just Windows security. They will want to make sure that you know the ways of those people so that you can stop them from entering. So dictionary attack, credential spoofing. All these are under what? Password. Then we have what we call, all these are threats. All these are threats. I just want to discuss the threat today. We have denial of services. We have denial of what? Services, which is usually abbreviated to DOS. Denial of services attack. Denial of services attack. So attackers overwhelm a system or network, making it unavailable to legitimate users. That is denial of what? Services. That is the work of some bad guys, which you must fight against, which you as a cybersecurity expert, you must defend that company's system so that they don't deny them service. Just imagine you try to log into your website with your website back end where you have your database, and the same password that you have been using, they deny you the access. It can be very crazy. Most of these things that we are just talking, casually here now. If it happened to a company that have reputation, the way they will be pissed off, it will surprise you. The way they will never have rest. They'll be so worried that we don't know, because if all these big company, I don't want to mention company names, they cannot afford any of this attack. Even you, let's say you have external drive or your system, and then worm now corrupt it, or virus, and you have some of your important file that cannot be retrievable from any other source. You have not backed them up anywhere, and you cannot even get them again. So that is how serious it can be. Another threat, as number 5, rounding off, is man in the middle, man in the middle, man in the middle, which is usually abbreviated in this field to MITM, man in the what? The middle. Attack. So what type of attack is this one? Man in the middle attack. An attacker secretly intercepts communication. An attacker secretly intercepts communication between two parties. Can you see this one? Between two parties. We call it, it's a threat. It's a threat. I'm looking for a perfect scenario to explain it. It's a threat. It's part of the threat. An attacker secretly intercepts communication between two parties. Perfect scenario is this. Maybe you are your friend. You are judging someone. You are doing aproko, what Nigerian people call aproko. And you don't know that somebody is hiding somewhere, listening to everything both of you are saying. And then at the end of the day now, you'll be surprised that what you will not be suspecting the person we were discussing. Don't know that there was another person that listened to both of you. I hope you are following. So it's a threat. It's a threat. It's a serious threat.
Yes, sir.
So let me just quickly, within the next few minutes, let me run through types of cybersecurity. Types of cybersecurity. So you need to know what are the platform you secure, type of cyber security. Type of cybersecurity. So under this, we have what we call network security. We have network security. So why am I explaining all this? It's for you to know. It's for you to know what you are going to protect. Just like there's no way a security personnel will be employed without him or she knowing what is going to protect. It's very important. If anybody is going to employ you, let's say you want to employ a gate man, you must have explained to the person what he or she should protect. So network security protect computer network from unauthorized access and attack. So it's also our responsibility to protect network. And network falls, it can be categorized as so long the medium of accessing information on the internet, your Facebook, whatever it is, all of them fall under. So if you are employed, you need to also ensure the security of those platforms. I hope I'm communicating. So we have information security. We have the information security. Information security. We have the information security. So we have the information security. Very important. Sorry. So we have the information security. So information security deals with protecting data from unauthorized access, modification, or deletion. So it's part of what you will ensure, because they can ask you what are the types of security, cyber security. Protect network, protect information, and then application security is the next one, application security. Application security. So application security is the protection or securing software application through secure design and testing. Through secure design and what? Testing. That is what application security. For example, now the app banks use, you may not understand the level of security they will prioritize to it, because once that app is tampered with, a lot of people record can be what? Destroyed. So the bank will not allow their app, even company or individual, that particular app that is fetching you money. If you are a graphic designer, the CorelDRAW, the Photoshop you are using, you will not want it to crash. You will not want it to be destroyed. You will also ensure its security. So we have cloud security. We have cloud security as well. So cloud security is is the protection of cloud-based systems, services, and data. We all know that today banks, they are storing their details in the cloud. So you can't go to a bank now and then they are still storing their data in their CPU. They just have the network device. So whatever they are doing is going straight to the cloud, because the cloud is better what? Secured. Because that cloud space is a company that is securing it. You're only just to purchase space from them. And then they ensure that their client data are properly what? Secure. That's why it's not easy for hacker to penetrate through those platforms like they do it to your personal system. So we have what we call the endpoint security also. Endpoint what? Security. So endpoint security protect devices such as laptops, smartphones, and servers. That is for the endpoint. All right. So any questions? So this is where I actually want to. But before we end the class, let me quickly run through career opportunities in cybersecurity. So you make your note later. Let me just run through them. Career opportunities, so you know which area you can plug yourself in. When you finish learning, there must be a particular area that you are good at, that when they call anybody from that area, you should be able to be active. Number one is security analyst. Number two, ethical hacker, penetration tester. These are careers you can build around this program. Security engineer, incident responder, digital forensic analyst, security consultant, chief information security officer, CISO. You see, all these are careers you can build around cyber security. So we are still going to talk about them when we get to ethical hacking properly. We are still going to explain more than even this career, or trying to explain them better to us. So we will continue from here by the grace of God on Monday. So please continue. The class is still the foundational aspects. If you have anyone that you feel to join here, kindly reach out to me. We are ready to give them a reasonable discount. I just want more persons to join the class. If you have any question, you can ask. We have questions. So just in case you come across while I'm waiting for question. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so just in case you come across the video and you want to reach out to us or to train you via live Zoom like this, it's not only cybersecurity we actually offer on this platform. We train on data analytics, we train on graphic design, we train on the AutoCAD, we train on the Python programming, we train on digital marketing, we train on, if you want us to train you on the computer appreciation. That is the very first aspect of computing. That is the intro, where we expose you to Office, Word, that is Word, as a PowerPoint, Excel. We do all that here. So feel free to request for your training through the number. So you can also go to our website at www.digitechz.com.ng. And then you can also follow me directly on Facebook, where I give tips on tech, where I give most of the updates. Just search for Equero Prosper. And then you can follow us on YouTube. Just go to YouTube at Digitech Zeal Hub. We have video running to 500 videos there across different programs. You can follow us on TikTok, Digitech Zeal Hub. So do well to subscribe to any of these platforms. Thank you. See you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.